All of the calls 24/7, brought to you by the Mohegan Sun, Connecticut, Pocono Downs Resorts, Atlantic City. Peter, he's calling from Belmont. Peter, you're on the fan.
Hey, Jim, you want some iced tea?
Iced tea? Okay, and Peter is just cut himself off for being. I don't think Peter's been drinking iced tea. CJ is calling from Mount Holly, and I would imagine that when you say you're drinking iced tea, you're drinking it.
Oh, what a jerk that guy was. I can't stand these types of callers who take up airtime.
Well, he didn't get too much airtime, CJ. He was on the line longer than he was on the air.
What an absolute stupid idiot. But getting to the Knicks, you know what? I'm so happy that they won. But more importantly, I love the fact that Porzingis had 27 points in this victory. Even if they don't make the playoffs, the most important thing they can accomplish this year is to advance Porzingis' career so he takes that next big step this year. So this type of game becomes, what he does consistently and not just rarely.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And it was by far and away, and thank you so much, CJ, it was by far and away the best Knickerbocker game any of us have seen in years. And this was the best of the new guys. And I'm sure going back to Chicago for Rose and Noah had something to do with it to prove that they can still play and still make a difference. This was as good a Knickerbocker game as you've seen in years, and if they can come this close, if they can repeat this, I mean, you're talking definite playoffs, but they have to stay healthy, and again, the number one priority was to get Porzingis involved, and they did that, and Rose, again, the numbers, 32 assists for the Knickerbockers, 32. That is sharing the basketball, and only 5 turnovers. And again, the Knickerbockers, real quick here, and then we get right back to the phones, and we do have a line open. If you did see or watch the Knickerbocker game, I know you're excited if you're a Knickerbocker fan. That's all there is to it. Because this was the best you've seen in years. I can't say that enough. Because it has been so dreadful and underperforming and underwhelming, and issues with the triangle and issues with bad basketball and coaching changes and the Zen Master, and everything has been tending and trending towards a negative side. How refreshing and how novel and somewhat unique, at least for a night, to talk about something so positive with the New York Knickerbockers. And again, the key is the health of Rose as the quarterback and the health of Noah, who just can do everything as we saw tonight. Now, whether it can sustain itself with Rose and Noah and featuring Porzingis, this is what you want to see from somebody who is so young and has such a high ceiling, literally and figuratively, at 7'2", 7'3". He was just magnificent tonight, as were just about every single Knickerbocker that you saw. They held onto the basketball. They were sharing the basketball. They were running up and down the floor. They were scrambling all game long. Andrew is calling from Fresh Meadow. Andrew, you're on the fan. Thank you for taking the time.
And thank you for letting me be on the air. I always appreciate it.
Well, of course, we can't do a program without you being on the air.
All right, so sticking on the topic of the World Series, just giving my overall opinion, I really enjoyed it as a fan, considering that the hype and speculation into this series, I feel, really led to the play on the field. And you said it earlier, this Game 7 is debatable. I certainly don't know, considering that I've only watched baseball for almost 13 years now. And I don't think we'll ever see a series like this again, but for Cubs fans,
well, you might.
enjoy it.
Yeah, no, oh, you're right. I mean, now it won't be so unique. Now it won't be so historic.
Yeah, it really won't feel historic in terms of the Indians ever getting back to the World Series again because they're only the last MLB team that's really cursed.
Well, you're right. It doesn't have the same cachet that the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs, Teddy Roosevelt was president. I don't think too many people had automobiles. I'm not sure when the Model T was invented by Henry Ford, but in 1908, I think the number one mode of transportation was a horse and buggy. And then people weren't worried about gas prices. They were worried about the prices of hay and carrots to keep the horses going.